Pag-uusapan po natin fake news at laliman natin ng konti ang diskusyon. Ano ba ang working definition ng fake news? Kung wala po kasing definition, paano natin gagawa ng batas? Kasi yan ang pinopropose ng ating mga kongresista. Ang gusto nila ay may regulatory framework at may regulatory body para dun sa mga sinasabi natin online. In addition to those to the regulation that is done by the platforms themselves. Now, why is this problematic for us? Well, let's start with the definition of fake news. But first, before we go into that, panoorin natin itong interview ni Congressman Barbers. If I can find it. Yan.
Quadcom, there's also a Quintacom, and now there's an upcoming TRICOM set to be convened by the House of Representatives to investigate certain vloggers, certain online actors that may have been unfairly criticizing several House members over these proceedings. Tell us, Congressman, initially, how many vloggers are you eyeing to summon to this TRICOM proceedings?
Well, all the bloggers, whether legit or illegitimate, whether pogo bloggers or narco bloggers, you're all welcome.
Okay. I have issues with what he says here. Unang sinasabi, all bloggers daw are welcome. Whether pogo bloggers or narco bloggers, pseudo bloggers and ano ba yun? And whatever, kaulitin natin.
Well, all the bloggers, whether legit or illegitimate, whether pogo bloggers or narco bloggers, you're all welcome.
So he talks about legit and whether vloggers legit or not legit, pogo vloggers or narco vloggers. Teka, di ba? Wait a minute. It was because earlier on, during I think one of his interviews or during his privilege speech, ni-reveal ni Congressman Barbers na mayroon daw mga narco vloggers at saka mga pogo vloggers, insinuating na nagkakalat sila ng fake news dahil related sila dito sa mga organisasyon na ito na we know are already out. Well, in the case of pogos, are already no longer allowed to operate here. And narco vloggers, of course, with the intention to link them to the drug trade. Teka, meron bang ganun? Hindi nyo pa nga napapatunayan kung mayroon nga ganun. And now you're talking about inviting everybody, including pogo and narco vloggers. Sinong pupunta dyan if there is an insinuation of illegality? Furthermore, meron insinuation daw, meron daw legit na vloggers, meron hindi legit na vloggers. Ano ba ang definition ng legit para sa inyo? Wala namang regulation ang vlogging. In fact, walang regulation ang journalism. Teka, parang si Congressman Barbers in his excitement to talk about it, parang hindi masyadong napag-isipan ito. Nevertheless, good faith muna. Let's just say na baka feelers lang yan, hindi niya naisip na may implications.
You're all welcome. In fact, we don't know where to send our invitation to, but we will definitely send it via online, maybe. Because it's not to run after the vloggers. No? But what we want to happen, the main objective here is to, for those who uses the digital space, so to speak, those who have been using social media platforms to express, or maybe to express their opinion, or maybe express the things that they want to express, that's fine. If they want to criticize congressmen, senators, mayors, governors, that's also fine. We don't have any problems with that. But what we want to produce out of this hearing, with the help of all these bloggers too, is that we should come up with a regulatory framework. There should be some semblance of discipline among those who wants to use the social media as their platform to express their opinion, to express their freedom of speech. We're not curtailing them in the constitutional guarantee of freedom of speech. We want to have a sort of a discipline among those who wants to use social media platforms as their venue to express their opinion. We cannot allow that everyday vloggers or the pseudo-journalists or the pseudo-political analysts would use the social media platforms to curse on people and peddle fake news. Ito yung operative word, yung fake news. Kasi they are seen to be peddling fake news. But there are only a few of them. Majority of the bloggers are legit bloggers who actually use the social media for information dissemination. It's okay that they make some analysis of the political, economic, and social situation. That's fine. But when you peddle a fake news, create a story against someone that you hate, plus the fact that every single day, minumura mo, you're cursing. Diba? Is this the way we want our children to experience their social media platform experience? That is not the way it should be. Right. And this is quite dangerous. And not only that, like you, Katrina, and all other respected journalists or media or tri-media practitioners, you are bound by the KPP rules. Because you cannot come out with a news story that is not validated, verified, or even the opinion of the two sides are considered.
Sige, let's stop right there. So he talks about regulatory framework. So ano yung mga actions na ayaw niya? You peddle fake news, tapos yung minumura daw araw-araw. How often ka ba nakakita ng mga minumura ng ganyan? Hindi ba yung mga platforms mismo ang nagre-regulate na ng mga yan? Platforms are privately owned. And the general rule is Congress cannot reach into those areas that are of private concern. Halimbawa, pwede ba nilang i-regulate yung pagkalkal ng mga bags pag pumapasok kayo dun sa mall? Hindi, kasi private yan eh. General rule, may right to privacy ka, di ka pwedeng kalkalin, di ka pwedeng i-search nang wala kang search warrant. But in a private area, you're subject to the rules of the area. So dito, parang sinasabi nila na na hindi enough yung private na yung ginagawa ng mga platforms. And dito, we can see that malayo na hindi na ito yung mga they are maligning the Quadcom. Wala na yung mga ganong salita. Sinasabi nila, you're free to speak. You're free to make political analysis, ganyan. And most daw of the vloggers, I think naramdaman yung backlash. Most of the vloggers daw legit, and they use it for they use social media for information dissemination. But wait, he introduces the concept of KBP. Teka, ano ba ang KBP? Sabi niya, ikaw, referring to the journalist who's interviewing him, you are subject to the rules of KBP. Wait, stop, full stop. Bakit? Ano ba ang KBP? KBP is a private organization. It is not government, ha? And this is and membership there is purely voluntary. Okay? Bakit? Because the Constitution says no law may be passed abridging the freedom of speech. Sabi na ng Supreme Court, if you regulate free speech, you are abridging it. So, ang sinasabi ni Kong Barbers, hindi, we're not trying to free speech, pero ang sinasabi niya is, hindi pwede yung fake news, hindi pwede yung minumura, hindi pwede yung ganito. Ngayon, yung sinasabi niya is closely adhering to the constitutional guarantee. Pero bakit niya binabanggit ang KBP? Parang pinapalabas niya, itong flood media, hindi na namin yan i-regulate kasi meron silang KBP. Wait, what? Voluntary nga ang KBP. In lieu of a government regulation, nag-submit to voluntary, kumbaga self-regulation ang media natin. Does it work? Not exactly. Bakit? Wala na. Since it's voluntary, umalis na po doon ang GMA. Umalis na ang DWIZ. So, paano mo ngayon isa-subject to your code, KBP, yung mga wala doon, yung mga hindi na miyembro dyan. So, I think Mr. Barbers may have misappreciated what the KBP is. Continue tayo.
Because once you do that, you will be sanctioned by the KBP. In this case, as we speak today, there's no KBP. There's nothing in social media platforms that monitors and regulates that. And that is the objective of this, not to run after them. But if they go beyond what is allowed by law, meaning they issue a slanderous, a libelous, that's a different story. Mm-hmm. Those who want to run after them, may file cases against them.
Right.
So, yun na nga eh. So, isn't that what it is? Those who want to run after them, you file cases against them. Bakit? Kasi na nga, meron ng mga batas. May batas sa libel, may batas sa slander. Meron pang rules yung plataforma. So if he himself, Congressman Barbers himself, is already saying na mayroon naman batas pala. Pagka meron sinabing masama sa kanila, edi ipasok na natin dyan. Ipasok na natin dyan sa hukuman. I-filean niya ng kaso. Yun naman pala may remedyo na pala. Why wouldn't, sabi ni Libra, wouldn't misappreciation be tantamount to stupidity? Kayo naman, good faith naman tayo. But in his case, he misappreciates not just the KBP now, but also the fact that there is a regulatory framework, quote-unquote, not exactly regulation, pero after the fact, you can file a case for libel. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that he understands that the Supreme Court strongly advocates for the decriminalization of libel. So, ito pa. So, ang inaano niya, again, fake news, cursing. Tingnan natin, ha? Let's continue with his
Congressman, since you already mentioned the issue of accountability among vloggers, among some online actors that do not have a regulatory policy similar to that being employed by the media, which bodies do you see or do you think should police these vloggers? Should tech giants actually be held liable if this information spreads on their platforms?
As of now, Katrina, really, honestly, we still want to get the idea of the platforms. That's why we will invite them in the committee hearing. We will also invite members of the academe, maybe the Dean of the College of Journalism or Dean of the College of Mass Comm from our universities. We will also invite reputable media personality to share their insights and ideas on how to craft this regulatory framework. And even vloggers. No? That's why sabi ko nga, welcome lahat ng vloggers to attend so that we can also share what you can for us to be able to improve the use of social media platforms. Hindi to kung apektado sila doon sa gagawing investigation siguro takot sila because meron silang ginagawang kalokohan.
So it's not, just to clarify, Congressman, it's not a crackdown on government critics online.
No, we cannot do that. We follow what the Constitution says. Everybody is allowed or given that constitutional guarantee of freedom of expression and freedom of speech. Pero what we are trying to regulate here is the peddling of fake news. There are people who gets affected by fake news. There are even people who have mental stress and commit to do some violent things. Some of them even committed suicide. So if we do not regulate the peddling of fake news, it may be prevalent. And how do we now control this? So second, it destroys not just reputation of persons, but even companies. Assuming two competing companies, two competing hotels or restaurants, hate each other, come up with fake news against each other, what will now happen? And yun lang, just for an analogy and example, that is where we want to bring this investigation. And it is not my committee. It is the Committee on Public Order, Committee on Public Information, and Committee on Information, Communications, and Technology.
So let's look at that. Ang example niya is two restaurants. Yung isa daw, magkakaaway sila so they plant fake news in social media. Teka, hindi ba, in his example, ang social media dyan ay, it's a tool. Gusto nilang magsiraan, o di sige. Hindi ba ito yung mga unfair, yung mga trade wars, may mga ganyan tayo. And actually, merong mga provision sa ating revised penal code tungkol dyan, yung mga industrial espionage, unfair trade practices, may mga ganyan. So, this, in his example, it's not really a social media issue, but rather an issue where you want to criminalize itong siraan na ginagawa ng dalawang that might be unfair to their trade. So, is it really about fake news? Is it really about social media? Or is it really about a trade war, unfair competition? Baka naman masyado siyang naghahanap ng babato or mga examples against social media in order to justify this investigation. Let's keep going.
It's a TRICOM. It's a joint committee hearing because they honestly believe that there must be a move to stop the peddling of fake news.
Right, and we will have to leave it at that for now and wait and see what happens next with the Quadcom, Quintacom, and the TRICOM. Busy days ahead, Congressman. Thank you so much for making time for Head Start.
If I may just
go ahead, sir.
Short. The Quadcom deliberated, discussed issues about illegal drugs, extrajudicial killings, illegal pogos, and public accountability. The Quintacom speaks about or discusses things that would affect the ordinary Filipinos issues. These are GAP issues. Pagkain, murang kuryente, murang pamasahe, murang everything that can help the ordinary Filipino people. Yan ang objective nitong Quintacom. Itong TRICOM naman is to come up with a regulatory framework. Just to let the people know that this Congress is working. This Congress is not ignoring their pleas and their concerns because we want to address them if we can all come up with a solution. So again, thank you for having me, Katrina, and more power to your program.
Thanks, sir. And here's to hoping that there will be enough session days for all those businesses. Thank you so much again for.
Okay. Yung mga comments ninyo, tawan-tawa ako dun sa iba. Okay. Sabi ni Jovel, hala, takot lang kayo sa mga vloggers kasi mas nagsasabi sila ng totoo kaysa sa inyo. Mas may tiwala mga tao sa kanila kaysa sa inyo kasi mas may concern sila sa bansa. Kaloka ka, Barbers. Sana di ka manalo. He's not running, by the way. It's his wife who's running. So, yun na nga. Natawa naman ako dito. Yung Quintcom daw is for yung mga sa ordinary, yung mga concerns ng ordinary na mamamayan. Pagkain, hindi yata niya minemorize. Pero you'll find that it's very, very similar to what we have been saying. Pagkain, tubig, kuryente, internet, trabaho, healthcare, transportation, and so on. Oh, well, ito na ba yung kanilang sagot dun sa mga pressing issues? Parang hindi yata. Di ba parang, okay, if you're sitting down and talking about something, you have only so many months to go. Or let's just say na mayroong kayong matapos dyan sa Kongreso, will you be able to create laws for this? Mag-Abril na. I mean, it's what? It's January. It's almost the end of January. For me, again, this is starting to look like lip service. O, narinig niyo yung daing namin, pagkain, tubig, kuryente, internet, transportation, trabaho, healthcare. Pero, really, is your response commensurate to the suffering of the Filipino people? Not sure. Really, sir, cannot. Again, ang sinasabi ni Congressman Barbers, ang sinusulong nila dito na idea is kailangan mag-regulate, i-regulate daw ang social media. Ay, good luck with that one. Ngayon, I did a little bit, just a little bit, di pa ako tapos. Kaya ginabit tayo today. Medyo I fell down the rabbit hole reading up on this one. Now, a few years ago, sabi nga nila, di ba, ano ito ngayon? This is the era of post-truth. Nung time ni, in first term ni Trump, lumitaw itong term na fake news. And then people like Rappler, people like Rappler, Maria Ressa of Rappler, started pushing against fake news. Dapat daw i-regulate itong social media. And so they volunteered. They became part of Facebook and became the fact checkers. So, of course, automatically, may mga na-concern doon. Bakit? Rappler styles themselves as journalists, news media sila. And they consider themselves part of the trad media using new technology. So they're online, but ang kanilang format is parang trad media. Okay? Pero from what I hear from friends in the media, so trad media, they're in trad media, they're considered social media. But in social media, we consider them trad media. So they're neither here nor there. But when they became the fact checkers, they were challenged by other journalists. Alam niyo kung bakit? Because they also fact check not just the vloggers, but also fellow journalists, fellow trad media. And as later on articulated by Mark Zuckerberg, it became very clear that the fact checkers were actually biased, that they already had a particular side and they were fact checking even the politics. Kumbaga, chine-check nila opinion, which shuts down discourse. So that's the reason why, di ba? Kaya tayo mayroong free speech guarantee sa ating saligang batas ay para makasiguro tayo na may diskurso, that people keep talking to each other, because as long as we're talking to each other, we're not exchanging blows. We're not shooting at each other. So it doesn't matter whether we agree or not. The point is that we can keep talking and keep talking, kasi that is how, that's how we learn. That's how people learn. When people talk and you listen, you might be introduced to new concepts. That is the idea of the free exchange of ideas, the free marketplace of ideas. Yung pinopropose ni Rappler noon, napupulisin yung social media, has resulted in a limitation on the number of views that a single person can see. Now, the idea is that the more views that we see, the better we have the more we understand whatever the discourse is. Diba? Hindi naman pwedeng tayo lang. Kaya nga, ang ginagawa natin is sumasagot tayo, dinidiscuss natin. Pati yung sinasabi ng kabilang parlor, didiscuss natin kasi kailangan nakikita natin ang punto de vista nila. Kung sa tingin natin hindi tayo sang-ayon, kailangan mayroon din tayong pagkakataon na i-explain kung bakit hindi tayo sang-ayon. Hindi natin kailangan ng ang mamamayan natin tanggap lang ng tanggap. Ay, sabi ni ganito, and ganito, I believe is right because he's always right or she's always right. Puon nga, infallible, parang ganon. Hindi. Discourse allows us also to see, how logically the sides are presented. O halimbawa, itong sina Congressman Barbers nga, gusto daw nila may regulatory framework. Bakit? The Constitution does not admit of regulation. Kahit sa trad media, KBP is not a regulatory body in the sense that he is proposing. A regulatory body that is government goes against the constitutional guarantee of free speech. Kaya nga walang exam para sa mga journalists, di ba? Because pagka meron kayong parang bar exam nyo or board exam ninyo, that is a form of regulation. And the constitutional guarantee says, no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech. One of the biggest problems in so-called regulating social media under the guise of protecting normal citizens from fake news is that fake news is a term that is polysemic. What is polysemic? It means ang daming definitions, ang daming ways to define it. So, in fact, sinasabi ng ibang mga journalists in the academe that fake news is a term that is hugely problematic because it doesn't reveal what it means. Right? So, they have proposed other terms such as, but not limited to, information pollution. Natawa naman ako doon. Ano pa ba? Yung information disorder. Ayan. Kasi, ang sabi ng mga journalists in particular, sabi ni, pangalan ng author na to, Baptista, he tried to come up with a working definition of fake news. And what he was saying is that in general, the term fake news is absurd. So, sabi niya, it has overlapping and similar meanings that share an extensive semantic field, meaning na fake news might be different from between one person and another. So, yun nga, so they are saying, baka information pollution na lang or information disorder dapat ang gamitin natin. Or, ano ba yan? False information, pinapropose ng ibang mga nasa academe. But, why is it also problematic to define? Kasi sometimes, fake news is what we call time-bound. Gusto mong i-regulate ang fake news. How are you going to pin down what is fake and what is not? In fact, gusto nila i-criminalize yan pagpapakalat ng fake news. Teka muna. Pag criminalize mo, kailangan ililimit mo lang yung tao who intentionally disseminate this. Nako, ayan na. May problema na tayo. Intent na ang kailangan natin hanapin. But let's go back. Bakit ang fake news? Ano ba yung mga klaseng fake news? Halimbawa, clickbait is considered fake news. At marami dito, ang flood media ang gumagawa. Kasi karamihan dito sa Pilipinas, microbloggers tayo. Ano yung microbloggers? Doon tayo sa mga platforms, Facebook, X, Insta, TikTok, Rumble, all of these, Rednote, ano ba yung isa? Reddit. Ayan. Ano yung clickbait? Mali or meron silang ilalagay doon sa title na nakakahikayat, mapipilitan ka mag-click kasi minsan yung clickbait malala, sasabihin nila pumanaw na si ganito. Pero pag click mo, hindi pa pala. Sasabihin doon sa body na akala ng mga tao pumanaw na si ganito. Ayan. Fake news yan. What about yun nga? Scientific discoveries. O di sa ngayon, real news siya. Pakalat mo and all that, yung iba nga sinasanction ng gobyerno. Yung nakikita natin dito, yung isang malaking problema during the pandemic was that the science was in the process of being developed. So ang dami dyan na iba-ibang mga there are people who are subjecting the science to their own opinions. Now the problem is, science really is something na kailangan pinag-uusapan. Ang science talagang china-challenge yan. That's how we science. Diba? How do you do science? Meron kang hypothesis, o meron kang thesis, and then you prove it. Now, when it is being peer-reviewed or even reviewed with tinitingnan nila, let's have a look at the new science now. What did this person discover? You look at the methodology. Minsan di ka mag-agree sa methodology. Ang kalat naman ng methodology na to, walang control group. Minsan, may interpretations ng mga outcomes. Minsan meron pang mga and that's how you science. You question all the time. Paano yun? Kung gusto mong questionin, halimbawa, yung science, like what some people were doing during the pandemic, they were questioning the effectivity or the science behind the vaccines. Bawal. O sige, maybe during times of pandemic, oo. Pero what about other times? Hindi pa pwede natin questionin? Because that is how you develop. In fact, you develop law, you develop science. When you question, may naglumiyaw. Questioning something is how you develop, how you test it. Di ba sa hukuman, merong direct examination, may merong direct examination, may cross-examination. In direct examination, you reveal. In cross-examination, you test. And discussions are when you test these theories. So kung meron kang fake news, and you take it down right away, how do the people know that what you have taken down is really fake? Who is the person who is going to say, fake yan, totoo yan? When in many cases, not just in science, but also in law, the ideas may not be the same from day to day. Di ba? Minsan, tama tayo today, and then tomorrow, baka hindi na. So fake news ka rin ba? Ka pa rin ba? What if you're taken down? What if your account is removed? Pinarusahan ka na, minsan pinapahiya ka pa, and 2 days later, tama ka na pala. Who is going to answer for that? See, that is the problem because what's happening here is that they're trying to regulate ideas. Hindi nga natin makapiright ang ideas i-regulate mo pa. And then, Congressman Barbers talks about journalists and pseudo-journalists. Pero, there is a definition of journalist under international law. A journalist is a civilian who gathers and shares information. By that definition, all of us on social media, if we gather and we share information, we are all journalists and therefore are entitled to the protections under international law. Like, if we're in a war zone, meron kang telepono, you're filming, you're doing all of these things, you're considered a journalist. You're protected under international humanitarian law. which is that parang Red Cross ka. Di ka pwedeng, di ka kasama, di ka combatant. You're protected. Dapat. Stray bullets notwithstanding. So, there are no pseudo-journalists. If the definition of journalism is one who gathers information and then presents it to the public. So, how now are we going to regulate when even those who are on social media are protected or should be protected? We are part of the discourse. Kung wala man tayong KBP, sige, pwede tayong magka-KBP na sarili natin, but it is a purely voluntary effort. And this is upheld by the Supreme Court. Next. Yeah, as we mentioned, KBP is a voluntary organization. And as a matter of fact, kinwestiyon nga, when I was still with DWIC, kinwestiyon namin. They wanted to, at the time si TP nasa Karambola pa. And he was having a discussion with Attorney Harry Roque, and they were talking about, and they were joking about one of the journalists over at Rappler. And sabi ni TP said something about throwing rocks at that, or throwing hollow blocks at the journalist. Journalist complained with the KBP that si TP daw ay hindi, wala daw credentials, walang ID, di member ng KBP, hindi daw dapat. If DWIC wanted to remain a member of the KBP, dapat daw lahat ng kanilang mga radio commentators, hosts, etc. had to have their KBP card. They had to pass the exams and so on. So what DWIC did was, nag-withdraw sila sa KBP para yung mga tao nila, yung mga newscasters, commentators, and so on would no longer be required to be members of the KBP. Sabi ni Armando Tay, mura daw, pwede magmura. Well, it depends. Sa atin nga dito sa social media, ang nag-regulate ng murahan is usually the platform itself. Sabi ni Ma'am Jasmine, ang gulo niya, as a mother, I will protect my children. Sa kanya, gastos lang yung gusto niya. Wala namang kwentang investigations nila. And we don't even know if there's any time to actually pass the legislation. Sabi ni Seth, wow, this Congress is working now. Working against the Dutertes lang. Huwag kayong hangal. So, even dun sa discussion about what they want to do, I appreciate na medyo nag-back down na sila. It's no longer about, these bloggers are maligning the Quadcom. Yun yung umpisa nito eh. Di ba doon nag-umpisa yon? Pero ang tingin ko dito is that they finally consulted, possibly with their lawyers, the guarantees of free speech under the Constitution, and they probably read some of the cases. Sabi ni Ma'am Marie, sakit na sakit siya kasi nabisto yung gawin ng pamilya niya. Kaya pala ayaw nila sa war on droge ni Pierre. So, yun. So, but are these things, di ba? And then, what he wants to talk about is, he talked about yung pag-file ng cases. So, what he missed in that whole proposal is what constitutes protected speech. What is protected speech? Well, the general rule is all speech is protected. May mga exceptions. Those that fall under the crimes, those that are crimes, libel, inciting to sedition, inciting to terrorism, inciting to war, false publications, but that's what they punish, the publisher, not the person who articulated the speech. So, and what is common in all of these? Halimbawa, dun sa Article 154, sa false publications, when you publish something that might affect the economy, might affect the securities of a country or national security. Ano yung mga ina-abate natin, yung mga tinatanggal natin, yung mga pinaparusahan natin? Dangerous speech. Halimbawa, bawal magsigaw ng sunog sa loob ng sinihan. Kasi ang laki ng posibleng peligro o damage. So, but you don't even punish attempted libel. Wala pong ganun. Walang frustrated libel, walang ganyan. Once you articulate it, then it is consummated. And you can only punish something after the articulation has been made, after the speech has been said. Hindi mo pwedeng busalan ang isang tao. And a regulatory framework could have what is called a chilling effect. Bakit ka mapipilitan kang mag-isip, pwede ba ako magsalita? Pwede ba ito? Nagsi-second guess ka na ng sarili mo. This flies against the purpose of free speech. Ang free speech is supposed to encourage more expression. O bakit? Kasi nga, among other things, for example, particularly free speech when it relates to criticism of government, it's because the ordinary citizen, from whom all authority emanates, or the source of the authority should be able to check its own government. dapat pwede natin silang yung pagka, uy, teka muna, sumusobra na kayo. And free speech checks that. O, take note ha, wala tayong pinag-uusapan na kasuhan pa. By speaking against government, alam nila na pwede silang mapahiya. Yung mga opisyal, pwede silang mapahiya. They can get called out. So the mere exercise of free speech checks government. Kaya yung mga nagsasabi, wala namang kayong ginagawa, puro kayo dada. Mali po. Kasi yung daldal actually is a form of checking government. Sabi ni Ma'am Ana, halatang nanonood sa Luminous. Ito, sabi ni Adrian, hi Adrian, SOCMED is a marketplace of ideas, good or bad. Prime media is regulated because they're expected to self-regulate according to their private organization, KBP. Because they are expected to report only the truth. The KBP is a private organization of Marcosian era, Marcos 1, strong-handed rule. Can you regulate public opinion under the current constitution? There are already laws against libel and cyber libel, defamation, false publication, and a gamut of other criminal and civil laws. Adrian, second part please, nabitin. Maraming yes, maraming Supreme Court decisions already on this one. So, which leads us to suspect. Mas gusto ko yung isang na background. Which leads us to think, what is the intention, the real intention of these hearings? There doesn't appear po to be enough time to pass the legislation. And in fact, there's no counterpart bill in the Senate. I don't think the Senate is inclined to hold a hearing such as this one. It is clearly intended to target vloggers, yes. To make it appear that vloggers indulge in fake news. Bumabawi naman si Kong Barbers, sinabi niya na most naman daw the vloggers, totoo naman daw ang sinasabi, and so on. Sure, but that's small comfort to us. Very small comfort to us. Kasi nga, we don't need regulation. But ito, for all of us, we can take heart. Kasi ganito yung nangyari. Remember years ago, I don't know how long, more than a decade, kasi it was before the Duterte administration. Uy, ang reckoning ko is before or after Duterte. So, before Duterte. There's this kid who I think was trying to get into the LRT. Tapos, parang pinigilan siya ng guard. I forget the facts. Remember si I'm a liar. You're calling me a liar? So, I'm a liar now. Gumanon siya. And dahil sa sobrang, it became viral. And the virality caused her depression. She couldn't go out of the house. She couldn't. It was massive, no? And ako, I felt bad for her. I really felt sorry for her because she was simply questioning yung interpretation ng guard ng rules. And she's a kid. You can make mistakes. It wasn't that big for me. It wasn't that big a deal, but it apparently was. It went viral. People kept going, Amalaya, and I felt bad for her. And eventually, there was a time she says her father was interviewed, and he said, there was a time when she was contemplating self-destruction, but they would talk to her and say, what about us? Now we're your family. We want you here. We want you around. It was difficult for her because it was even hard for her to get a job after a while. Hi, Kayani. Yes, that was the, sabi niya, I remember you when you joined me in your project sa mga schools with George Figueras. Yes, this was the constitutions, the History of Philippine Constitutions project na inikot namin in national high schools all over the country. Hi, how are you? I hope you're still in touch with George. Please say hi to him. Sabi ni Ma'am Cheryl, gusto lang gantihan ang mga vloggers na nabatikos sa kanila. Hindi na ata tatakbo si Barbers dahil alam niya hindi na siya mananalo. No, I think he's had 3 terms. His wife is running in his stead. Sabi niya magpapahinga daw siya. Sabi ni Adrian, walang patutunguhan ng hearing na yan. Their only goal is to cause fear to the vloggers and the great majority that are critical of these congressmen. Yes, I agree with that. And that's, kumbaga, chilling effect. Napapadalawang isip tuloy tayo. Pero ako, I am hoping na totoo itong sinasabi nila. Because it gives us an opportunity to push back. This entire idea of regulation is self-defeating kasi it cuts off discourse. Hindi na, paano magkakadiskurso? Iba na rin ngayon ang diskurso. We don't have to have debates like they used to before. Pero the ideas, you present them, even if it's on your wall, you present it there. Iikot siya. People will read your opinion. And they can comment on it. They can agree, they can disagree, they can take it apart and examine it. This is the entire reason why we have free speech, so that we can exchange ideas whether or not you like those ideas. And isn't it that it is actually working? Now, ang problema nila, and to some extent, I guess it should be a concern for us, is yung mga tao na papasok sa Walmart, they don't really contribute to the discourse, pero nagmumura lang. Halimbawa, mayroon dyan, doon sa kabilang parlor, paulit-ulit lang yung sinasabi niya na kinoconnect niya instead of DDS, she uses a bad word at the end of it, meaning fecal matter. Yun lang, inuulit-ulit niya yung sinasabi niya. Akala niya nakakatuwa. Akala niya it will go viral. Akala niya sisikat siya when actually kadiri lang. And that's not discourse. Nagmumura ka lang. Nag-aano ka lang, di ba? Ano yung kinocontribute mo? Wala. And then, dahil balahura ka, dahil ang sama ng language mo, you're not, parents will advise against being reading you. They have every right to protect their children against speech like that. But even people like that, hindi natin sinasabi na kailangan i-take down siya. Wala tayong sinasabing gano'n. Walang kwenta sila, too. But I don't advocate for taking them down. Kasi, kung matanggal yung mga walang kwenta, paano nyo malalaman na magaling yung iba? Sometimes you need a comparison. Para sa akin, it works. The system works. Also, habang tumatagal, nakikita rin ng ordinaryong mamamayan kung ano yung may kwento at ano yung walang kwenta. Ano dito yung speech na dapat natin pinapasa? Ano yung speech dito na, they make sense. Let's share this. Kailangan pa bang makialam dito ang gobyerno? Kailangan pa bang sabihan tayo na parang bata na, huy, bawal magmura? Ang PI nga, sabi ng Korte Suprema, hindi nga yan pagmumura. So if I say PI, maiinis ba sila? It's an expression of frustration ayon sa Korte Suprema in 1968. Sabi ni Joe, bukang bibig dahil kulang na sila sa oras dahil delikado na sila sa eleksyon. Sila nga ang sinungaling at abusado at nanggigipit. Sabi ni Adrian, I don't think the Senate will be on board on this travesty. So wala din talagang patutunguhan nito, kundi panggigipit lang sa mga political enemies. Actually, pinipitik nila yung mga vloggers. This is my opinion. I think na pinipitik nila yung mga vloggers, the ones they don't like. Ewan ko kung kasama ko dyan, but it's quite possible. Pinipitik nila to remind them that they are the ones in power. Kasi, tingnan ninyo, papatawag ninyo, mga vloggers, because what? You want to pass a regulation, supposedly, that will stop them from maligning. Kasi hindi nyo na mababawi Yung totoo niya, narinig na natin na yung purpose ninyo para i-convene itong mga hearings na ito is because you said that there are some vloggers who are maligning the Quadcom. Paano nyo babawiin yan? Kahit ngayon, sasabihin ninyo na, hindi, ang purpose namin dyan is to present a regulatory framework at chuchuchu. In the other investigations in the House, parang yung mga panukalang batas na i-propose parang for the sole purpose lang para may dahilan para may dahilan para mag-hearing. How do we know you're not doing the same thing now? Kasi nga, the Supreme Court has already stated yung regulation, that is an infringement of free speech. O paano yan? Gusto pa nga, sabi ni Kong Dan, yes, that done. Dapat i-criminalize na natin Talaga. I-criminalize na nga ang libel What more do you want? Sabi ni Ana, may resibo ang mga vloggers na sinasabi nilang fake news. Bawal lang talaga mag-speak up sa administrasyon na ito. Buisit sila. Yun na nga So what period in history was like this? Hindi ba martial law 1? Hindi ba Marcos Sr.? Parang ganito yung nangyari. At under the guise of regulating the media, they just took over. Kasi sabi nila, may mga masasamang sinasabi. Sabi ni Jumelski, very incompetent president at administration. KPRD time, nag-boom mga SOCMED at netizens were allowed to express whatever they want. Even barubal or fake news, hindi sineseryoso karamihan ni PRD. Correct. Plus, there were actually proposed legislation na he was prepared to veto. Kasi sinasabi niya, no, hindi dapat tayo nag-regulate, di dapat tayo, we should be encouraging more speech. Di ba? If there is misinformation, you bring out more information. And hindi naman pwedeng papatay-patay o tutulog-tulog ang gobyerno dyan. Nasaan na yung pangsalag ninyo ng fake news? May marching orders under the BBM administration and as directed by Congress during my budget hearing was, what are you going to do about fake news? Well, among the things that we proposed primarily was education on what constitutes so-called fake news. What is disinformation? How to check if something is disinformation? We wanted vloggers to be also participating in Malacanang press briefings para makita nila They would learn alongside seasoned journalists, see how they write, see how they check. Allow them to grow. Bibigyan namin, we were ready with seminars on the filing of income taxes. Yun, how to read the law, no, in accordance with when you're reporting on something that pertains to the law. Ano pa ba? Free speech, libel laws, ayan, copyright. Yan yung mga hinanda namin. Of course, hindi na yan natuloy, and under the current administration, it doesn't look like it's a priority. Nevertheless, these are the things we must encourage. Bakit hindi na lang kayo magpaproyekto? Why not discuss, allow people to discuss these with students? Allow students to participate in discussions with media and social media about what constitutes, what do they think is fake news? What kind of information do they consume? How can they tell if there is misinformation? What about those times na mislead kayo? What are the lessons that you learn from that? And also, when is it still under consideration? In other words, hindi pa natin pwedeng sabihin fake news ang isang bagay. Halimbawa, yung alitan between politiko and Rappler. Ang Rappler kasi, gusto nila, fina-fact check nila, pati yung mga kapwa journalists nila. Ang politiko naman, ang sinasabi nila, teka muna, wala dito sa fact check ninyo ang fake news. They would provide all of the information. Pero ang ginawa ng Rappler, fact check ang politiko, making sure that they could get shut out, and they were, in fact, for a while, shut out of Facebook. So ano yan? Gustong-gusto ng Rappler yan. Yung bida sila, tapos sila yung tama, sila yung mag-check sa atin. Who died and made you God? Diba? Na kayo yung magsasabi what is true or not? As a matter of fact, wala silang pakialam even if you correct yourself. So what is the point in regulating fake news? Bawal nang paano yun? Pag nahuli mo sarili mo, okay, gawin ko na yan. Fake news ka pa rin ba? Di ba ang tao nagkakamali? We are human, that's why. May kahinaan, may marupok, mga ganyan. Sometimes we will make mistakes. Sometimes we will misread something. Tama ba yon? Napaparusahan ka? Criminal penalty? In the United States, they do penalize fake news. But in order for it to be considered a criminal, kailangan may intent. So dito din sa Pilipinas, kailangan may malis. In other words, ang purpose mo, alam mong mali ito, sinusulong mo pa rin. Or, andyan na yung impormasyon, sinasalag na yung isinusulong ninyo, ipinupush mo pa. And there's one more thing that they should consider. There is damage. Kasi tignan niyo lahat ng mga criminal laws tungkol sa free speech, yung mga incitings, yung mga false publications, yung mga libel. What is common among them all? The existence of damage. So, there has to be malice and there has to be damage. Paano kung yun nga, ngayon, akala mo totoo, bukas, napabulaanan na. Fake news ka pa rin ba? Based on the information that you had? Paano mo gagawing criminal act yung mga ganyan? How can you now have honest mistakes? If you want to criminalize everything that hurts your feelings. Sabi ni M. and Freda, what is commonly forgotten is facts would always start with a hypothesis that is fortified with time in a series of tests which can still change if proven wrong. Kaya paano nila mag-gauge ang totoo on their own? Correct. It negates the whole idea of science. There was a time when there was a huge debate about whether or not bacteria constitutes a life form. And experiments are being conducted on that. Now, it's not such a big deal for many of us, but we deal with it. Inaano natin, this bacteria causes this or that. We study their effects. Ito, sabi ni the Lucky Kitty Cat, Pluto is known to be the 9th planet, but then scientists said it's not. And then they said it's a planet again. And then they said it's not a planet again. So what if sasabihin sa 7,000 plus islands ng Pilipinas ngayon, pero di pa na-discover yung iba? Correct. And minsan, fake news today, bukas totoo na. Again, the classic example, ito talaga si Hil Kabakungan, kaibigan natin yun eh. When he was still writing for The Inquirer, meron siyang ni-report na merger. Ang daming nagalit sa kanya na other journalists. So, they wrote their own stories saying na, kasi yung companies that were conducting the merger, dininay nila, issue sila ng denial. So, gusto nila parusahan daw si Mr. Kabakungan kasi mali daw, fake daw, ganyan. It's not true, there's no merger. Tapos sinasabi pa na, binabash nila using their own articles, hindi pa social media nun. Ngayon, guess what happened? 2 weeks later, nagkaroon ng merger. The denial was issued para hindi maudlot. Anong gagawin ninyo dun sa mga news ng mga nagsabi na, fake news si Kabakungan? Paano yan? So now, ang fake news were those people who were bashing him. And what do we do about that now? Yeah? Because let's face it, what you're trying to do is you're trying to pin down the truth to a particular place and time. You can't. Hindi ganyan ang nature ng truth. Minsan talaga nagbabago siya. Sabi ni Francis, why our lawmakers mostly have less knowledge in many things a lawmaker must know. Also not talking with sense. Common sense is uncommon. Well, para sa akin, let's also be constructive. Mga tipong, we need to be able to explain to our own constituents also. The reason we are against any form of regulation here is that there must be a space where we can speak freely, not just for the purpose of exchanging ideas also, but to serve as a safety valve or a pressure valve of society, because that's also the other purpose of free speech. Kung hindi tayo pwedeng magsalita at mag-criticize sa gobyerno, sasabog din yung yung what we call the social volcano. Sabi ni Daryl, plot twist, mamadaliin nila dahil sa election. They know how powerful social media is pagdating dyan. Maybe they will try to silence yung mga vloggers, lalo na yung against sa kanila. They can try. Ito, sabi ni Catalan Vlogs, I saw Larry Gadon's interview, pinagmumura at pinag-iinsulto ang mga DDS, tapos pinalabas ng mga media na yon. Ganun ba ang gusto ni Barbers na example? So there you go. What is masokay? Sabi ni Ikigay, great discussion but masokay po, siguro magtulungan ang ex. Ano po yon? Ano yung masokay? Sabi ni Liam, itong administrasyon na ito, puro problema at controversy ang dala. Ang dala, walang kasayahan. Sabi ni M. Enfrada, they work for Filipinos. They should be criticized by Filipinos. Wala silang masaktan kasi they're public employees. Yes, our talking on social media is a way of us to talk to them. We will not always have the opportunity to see them face to face. But if you post, eventually the message gets to them. Ano yun? They want to be protected from our free speech. The excesses naman, yung mga excessive, kung libelous yan, bakit di na lang po kasuhan ng libel? Ma'am Marices, umamin na nga si Dan Fernandez kay Ted na wala na talagang time kasi mga ngampanya pa sila. There you go.